Namaste. While the nation grapples with serious concerns over education and exam integrity, here's something that raises many eyebrows. A Dubai-based Malayali businessman, Muhammad Shaji from Malappuram's Nilambur, has put the final seal on what many of us already suspected. This gentleman sponsored the entire trip of 23 of his employees, flying them all the way from Dubai to Delhi. Air tickets, hotel, food, everything was taken care of. The purpose? To join the CJP-led protest at Jantar Mantar in the name of the NEET agitation. The owner of Abraco Freight, Muhammad Shaji, sponsored 23 of his own employees, flying them from the UAE to Delhi's Jantar Mantar for the protest. These workers didn't come on their own. They were handpicked, funded and dispatched like a private army. Muhammad Shaji footed the entire bill, flights, accommodation, food, turning his workers into participants in a political agitation on Indian soil. In one arrogant stroke, he has proven beyond doubt that this entire youth movement was heavily infiltrated, if not outright hijacked by foreign vested interest and questionable funding. This is not ordinary protest support. This is a calculated, well-funded operation. Why would a businessman comfortably running a company in Dubai suddenly decide to spend lakhs of rupees to send his workers to agitate against the central government in Delhi? The timing, the lavish freebies and the sheer arrogance raise the most serious doubts about the real forces operating behind this so-called student movement. They came to Bharat after preparing for at least a month-long protest. The entire plan was scheduled, coordinated by their employer, Muhammad Shaji, Nilambur. They were provided with free travel, accommodation, food and other expenses and were promised additional remuneration for taking part in what was presented as a complete Bharat package. However, the day when the Muhammad Shaji sent his army to Jantar Mantar, supposed to be the last day of the violent protest of the cockroaches, the group returned with pride after the minister's resignation. But the serious question here is, why is a foreign-based employer using his Indian workers as foot soldiers in Delhi's protest politics? A background check on Muhammad Shaji Nilambur does not immediately suggest the profile of a wealthy businessman capable of personally financing such an expensive operation. There are also reports linking his name to Czech-related legal disputes in Dubai. Although the status and outcome of those cases should be independently verified, that naturally raises an important question. If the reports are accurate, where did the money come from to sponsor the travel, accommodation and other expenses for 23 employees to participate in the CJP protest against the Modi government? Was this entirely self-funded, or was there a longer financial network backing the mobilization? This is an attempt to influence street movements from abroad with organized funding and manpower. This isn't without precedent. During the anti-CAA protest of 2019 and 2020, similar narratives of external support, coordinated mobilization and prolonged disruptions played out, leading to massive police crackdowns, widespread arrest, violence and eventually the tragic Delhi riot. After days of ending the CJP protest, the plot is getting clear. Such foreign-sponsored participation risks genuine student grievances into orchestrated campaigns, raising concerns over foreign interference and the real motives behind these solidarity gestures. Was this an isolated act of solidarity? Or does it point to a more organized ecosystem behind supposedly spontaneous street movements? These questions are not new. During the anti-CAA protest in 2019 and 2020, similar controversies emerged over the logistics and financing of long-running demonstrations, including the Shaheen Bagh event. Those protests operated for months with continuous supplies of food, tents, medical facilities, volunteers, sound system and other infrastructure. The scale of the arrangements led to public and political debate over how such prolonged mobilizations were being sustained. The funding debate intensified further when central agencies began investigating allegations that the Popular Front of India had mobilized funds connected to anti-CAA protest. Eventually, PFI was banned. When a worker takes unpaid leave on his own money to support a cause, that is personal choice. But when flights, food, lodging and the length of the protest are all underwritten by a foreign based boss, it becomes something far more organized, far more sinister, and far less spontaneous. It raises legitimate questions about organization, planning, and the mobilization. The issue is not merely about 23 people. It is about understanding whether large public protests that appear organic are, in some cases, supported by structured financial and logistical networks operating far beyond the protest site. If overseas individuals or organizations are underwriting domestic political mobilization, the public has a right to know. The message is loud and clear. Certain forces cannot digest a strong rising India under PM Modi, so they will keep trying to destabilize it. Sometimes through street protest, sometimes through foreign sponsored employees. The question the nation must ask is this: how long will we allow foreign money and foreign directed hands to dictate protest on Indian soil? Thank you so much.